Hey, you're listening to Stop the Scroll, a social media marketing podcast, and I'm your host, Heidi Schmidt. I'm a social media strategist and agency owner with over 15 years of marketing experiences helping businesses grow online. We'll be diving into what you need to know so that you can show up confidently online without the overwhelm. Get your notebook ready to jot down some amazing marketing gems, and let's dive into it. Welcome back to another episode of Stop the Scroll. I am your host, Heidi Schmidt. So today, I want to do a little bit of a reflection. And earlier in mid-May, I went to a retreat, a business retreat with a bunch of people that I did not know. And there were lots of great takeaways. And the morning that we all left, we all had brunch and we kind of talked about our big takeaways. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but Lauren Najar was like, this needs to be a podcast episode. You just took us to church. So I'm trying to remember what exactly it was that I had talked about. I have some notes from my Instagram stories because I reflected on the holy crap hour-long train ride from Chicago out to O'Hare because I decided, let me save funny story about traveling and then I'll get into it. So I am apparently not a great traveler. I'm really not. I'm like, get me there cheap, get me there fast. So I got there cheap. I flew into Midway, which was great. I took an Uber to my hotel. Great. Walked around the city. Oh my God, the weather was so perfect. This was mid-May in Chicago, which might be one of my favorite cities now. Not that I've traveled extensively, but for anyone who knows me, you know that Boston is forever my favorite city. Boston is where I went to college. It has a super special place in my heart. I did love London, which I went to in college for spring break one year. I adored Singapore, which I went to in college also for spring break, which was a whole other experience. Traveling to that part of the world, I could have never imagined. Montreal is an adorable city, but I haven't been there since I was 18, so I may need to go and experience it again as a real adult, not just a college freshman. But this was my first time in Chicago since 2009 when I went for a Blog Her conference, which was a lot of fun. But I really, really loved kicking around the city, exploring. It's super walkable. I found it delightful. It helped that the weather was 75 degrees and sunny pretty much every day that we were there. But anyhow, we're going to get into what I talked about at that brunch because it was really, 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 really powerful. I mean, the whole experience was really powerful. When you're in a room with people who, as business owners, we all have these doubts. We all doubt ourselves oh, I can't really charge that much, or, oh, I can't really do that. And one of the big things that we talked about on the first night was our big, hairy, audacious dreams. And that's a term from when I worked for Lululemon, was we called them BHAGs, your big, hairy, audacious goal. And so we talked about these big dreams of ours, whether it was, opening up a new location or, for me, I mean, I'm doing something very big in 2026. And if you know me, you know. If you don't know me personally and you want to know, stay tuned. It'll be live on June 26th. But feel free to ask me if you want to know. But it's a big goal and I'm taking a leap. It's a huge leap of faith. And, in some ways it's probably going to impact my business, but whatever, it is what it is. My big takeaway that I talked about, and here's what I had written down is put yourselves in rooms with people who cheer on your big dreams, the offers you're too afraid to launch, and the life you hold yourself back from living because you're too scared or too in the weeds, which I have been too in the weeds for too long. You deserve big things. You deserve to charge more. You deserve to say no to clients who aren't aligned. If people around you don't think that you can you say, watch me. And if you know me, if you've known me for the better part of my 42 years on this earth, you know that anytime someone tells me no, I say, watch me. And I'll give you a couple stories. My parents did not want me necessarily to go to Northeastern University because it was really expensive. It was really expensive. I put myself into a lot of debt to go to that college. I do not regret a single minute of it. It gave me experiences that I would not have had I gone to University of Vermont like they wanted me to. And I'll tell you why. I would have been surrounded by the same people who just underestimated me, who never really warmed up to me. When we're gonna get a little deep here. When you go to 3 different high schools in 4 years, you come out of it with a little bit of trauma. You're always the new kid. You lack that connection. And, for one of the things, when my husband and I got married and when we bought our home up here in Pasadena, Maryland, we said, we're here for the long haul. This is our home of choice because I don't want my son to transfer and to miss out on all of those things that I didn't have. So anyhow, back to what I was saying at this brunch. We're meandering a little bit. If you know me, you know I meander. I've been told that I dream too big, that quote unquote, that sounds like a lot of work, or quote unquote, why would you want that for half of my life? And I will tell you, 2025 and 2026, it's my year. It's my year to charge more. It's my year to launch new offers that are dream offers that are going to get me out of the weeds, to do bigger things. If you know, you know, teasing that 2026 thing. And I'm so grateful to have some amazing women cheering me on here in Maryland and beyond. We all deserve to have cheerleaders, coaches, and communities who inspire us, who root for us, and who give us the skills and confidence and know-how to make those dreams a reality. So we're now in June, my friends. We are now in June. I want to ask you, and this might be a little bit of a shorter episode. And I'm going to do a little bit of reflecting. I have an episode planned coming up about how do we actually plan our marketing for the second half of the year to accomplish our business goals. But let's kind of get into that mindset aspect of making sure that our mentalities are setting us up for success. And I'll give you an example. Recently, I had a client. I've been working with them for a really long time. Love them. No ill will. They decided to bring their marketing in-house, which is what happens. It's common, whatever. Not every relationship's meant to be forever. Oftentimes, with clients, you can outgrow each other, and I am so thrilled. My client, when I started working with them, they had a really, really small team and they've grown nearly exponentially. They've grown. And it makes me so happy to see any client grow and to grow out of me, to grow out of that point where you are confident bringing your marketing in-house, because so many people come to me because they're either I don't want to do it myself, or I don't have the staff and I don't have the time, and to get to the point where you have this staff and you have the staff that you're confident in that can do it, that's a BFD. Straight up, that's a BFD. But I was really kind of taken aback when I got the email saying, hey, our new person is going to be managing marketing starting June 1st, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because I was talking with my business coach and she's like, and I kind of got in my head because I thought that it was one of those forever things. And this was I'm going to just say lower paying client because they were one of my OGs. And so I wasn't charging that amount that I know that I'm worth now. And she said to me, why are you giving space mentality? Why are you giving mental space to someone that you have outgrown? And I think that's a really important question that we all need to ask ourselves when we get in our own heads and say, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I don't want to do that, or whatever. I will tell you, I am in my own head about half the things that I have planned in my business, weeds. I blame it on the client weeds. I blame it on my, undiagnosed ADHD, all of the things, but really it comes from a place of fear. And I say this, because I'm building a sales page, to legitimately promote my VIP days, which is where I come out and I shoot content for you and I edit it. And then you get, planned reels or emails or whatever it is. And you have those to market yourself with confidence. But you don't want someone necessarily to do the everyday posting, or you can't afford that long term. So this is an option because I saw a need for it. Or to promote, my small group marketing, which I give myself a deadline. The sales page is coming June 1st, June 2nd, somewhere around there. The week of June 2nd, it's going to be launched. It's going to be open. I'm only going to take 5 to 10 people. I have one person who's super interested in it, and I'm so excited because but I've been ooh, I don't know. Is anyone really going to buy this? Get out of your own head and you'll never know unless you step out of that comfort zone and do it. And for me, the thing that's been holding me back is, thinking about does anyone really want to learn how to do their own marketing? I mean, most of my clients come to me because they don't want to do it themselves. So when you think about that, when you get in your head and you let those negative voices kind of get in your head and get in your space and hold you down. Like, it literally has been family members through my entire life being like, why would you want to do that? That sounds like a lot of work. Why, you can't do that. So I've had this mentality, just like almost like this little person, the little like inner monologue on my shoulder for my entire life telling me like, why would you want to do that? That sounds hard. Because people that I grew up around like haven't done hard things. A lot of people that I grew up with haven't done hard things. They haven't stepped outside of their comfort zone. They've always lived close to family. They haven't moved outside of the state. They haven't done XYZ, whatever it is, whatever that hard thing is, they haven't done it. And even around me here where I live, like, being a business owner is a hard flippin' thing. It is a hard thing. It's a hard thing to promote yourself. It's a hard thing to lead your business in your values and say no to clients who aren't aligned with those values. It's a hard thing to constantly be hustling because you feel like, oh my God, I need more money. I need more money. I need more money. Because, this time last year I was probably making close to $10,000 more a month than I am now. And that's just the way that business has gone. And, you can talk about all the causes of that, but it's hard to now be like, but I know, and I talked about this in Chicago. When I was making that much money, you know how burnt out I was? And I still have a little bit of burnout. That's probably why I stayed in bed till 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. I'm recording this over Memorial Day weekend. Literally stayed in bed until like 11 o'clock because I was just so tired and I couldn't get out of bed. And I'm hosting an event for my central committee later this week, and I had to do all of the spring yard cleanup because we hadn't done it. When I talk about ADHD, and I really need to like have someone on the podcast and talk about like marketing and ADHD, you're not inclined to do the thing that seems hard. You want to do the thing that's going to give you that snappy reward. And I did not want to start the yard work. And for the record, it's like 90% done. I got to finish putting some stuff away before Friday. 20 bags of yard waste. I planted 21 plants and used 5 bags of soil. And we laid out 16 bags of mulch on my front yard. That's what I did Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Was it rewarding? Heck yeah, but getting started when you perceive something to be really hard is not always easy when you don't have, a neurotypical brain. But I like tackling things that are hard. Like, I find yard work personally to be very rewarding. Anyhow, where was I? I don't even remember where I was going with that. But we're talking about mindset. So, as you kind of plan out the rest of your year to accomplish whatever big, audacious business goals you set for yourself at the beginning of this year, think about who you're surrounding yourself with. Think about how you're messaging it. Like, how frequently, one of the things that we talked about at this retreat and that I've talked about with my business coach is you got to talk about your offers, Like, you got to talk about them. Like, what do you offer? What are you selling? What are you doing? Like, how often are you talking about them? For a really long time, I started doing my newsletter, which I have another one that's coming out this week. If you're subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to do them twice a month. I'm really trying. I'm a little behind. I have gotten better at my podcast emails, which is fantastic, but I wasn't really talking about my offers. Like, how are you talking about yourself? How are you getting people into your funnel? Are you talking about your offers? And so my coach said to me last week, I was talking with her on our one-on-one call, and she was like, well, if you really want to push your VIP days, are you talking about them? Literally crickets. Because I hadn't been. So whatever your big goals are, here is my advice. And then we're kind of wrap this up. 1, you have to talk about the thing. Whatever the big thing is, whatever the goal is, like, talk about it. 2, surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you. Who are going to leave comments on your Instagram page being like, yes, girl, like whatever the encouraging comment is, because sometimes we get in our head and when we see that there's no likes or comments on our posts that we spend so much time creating, like, it kind of gets us down and discouraged. I'm not going to lie, like, that's total mentality. They're vanity metrics for sure. Don't base your business success on the number of likes or comments that you get on a flippin' post. Just mind-blowing. But surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you, especially in those days when, like, you're like, oh God, this is so hard. Like, oh God, like, I didn't get that client. Or, oh God, like, another client goes away, like whatever it is that's holding you back, that mentality that's like making you question yourself, surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up and give you that confidence. Like, yes, girl, you can do this. Yes, man, like this is your year. People who think that the thing that you're doing, whether it's in your business or outside of your business, that they think that it's totally badass and that you can do it. Don't get in your head that don't let yourself be told that your dreams are unrealistic. Don't let yourself be told by others who say that you charge too much. They're not your clients. You charge what you charge. You are worth more than you give yourself credit for. And you can say no to people who make you feel bad about that, or people who aren't aligned with your values, or, even in this day and age, you can say no to people who don't share your politics. There are a lot of people that might disagree with that, but like in this divisive day and age, you can say no to people because ultimately that is a values thing. Like I value everyone being able to live their authentic lives. That means if you want to be a childless cat lady, you have every flipping right to do that. If you are transgendered, I see you. You are living your authentic life, and I want to make sure that you feel safe in doing so. And if a company comes to you and they're like, oh, well, blah, 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 if you say to a business, well, I don't believe in politics or whatever, like that is a privilege. It is a privilege to be like, why is everything so political? Like everything is political these days. And to people who, if there are people that don't align with your politics, it's okay to say no to them. Give yourself permission. Like give yourself permission to run your business and your values authentically and to say no to people that are not aligned to that. Because you deserve to feel safe in your business. You deserve all of the big things. You deserve to grow your business if that's what you want. If you don't want to grow your business, you deserve that too. Like if you're completely content where it is, like you deserve that too. You deserve to say no to people, and you deserve to tell people who are trying to hold you down, watch me. For so many years. And I kind of mentioned this before, like I had so many people telling me, that sounds hard. Literally, like with the thing that I'm doing in 2026, I had a family member tell me, well, that sounds like a lot of work. Well, yeah, but big things and important things and running our businesses to grow, it's a lot of flipping work. But we can do it. And if you are struggling with that mentality, or if there is something holding you back, I encourage you to find support. Like, how can I help you get your messaging out? How can I support you in creating videos that help you show up authentically online? How can you find a community of women who are going to support you if you're a woman-owned business? I have many recommendations, like whatever resources you need to accomplish those big, big goals in your business. I want to help you. Like, I've got communities full of women who want to be your cheerleader. I have business resources for everything from banking to accounting to graphic design, like whatever you need to get yourself to that next step so that you can accomplish your goals this year. Like, find the people who are going to cheer you on, who are going to give you the resources that you need. So yeah, that was my big thing. And Chicago was fantastic. I'm going back next year. I really think that it's important. And I will tell you, like, walking into a event where I literally knew no one was so far out of my comfort zone, but I'm so flipping glad I did it, because the things that I took away, the ideas that I walked away with, the clarity that I got, even in just how I show up online. Like, sometimes we just need someone from an outside space to give us a little bit of perspective. So anyhow, if you need some perspective and some help with your marketing, the Small Business Marketing Masterclass is coming in June. I am going to put the waitlist in the show notes. By the time this goes live, it might actually be live. So it might just be the sales page. And schedule a strategy session if you need to just ask me anything for 90 minutes. If you want some insight on content ideas, what your strategy is, who you're actually marketing to, all that fun stuff. You can always book a strategy call with me. And yeah, we deserve big things, my friends. And we're coming into the second half of 2025. And those big things that you dreamed of back in January, let's make them happen. Let's get your marketing in order so that you can accomplish all of those big things. Until next time, go forth, create amazing, authentic content. Don't listen to the naysayers.